money ran out and she never got to do that. So evidently somebody told Linda that that was supposed to be the name of it. And she put that sign up.
Now, where did Dunmeade come from?
I think it had something, my mother was English. She was English Canadian, and I think it was somewhere back, I don't, not in her family that I know of, but it had some connection with England.
What was the lots when y'all built the house?
What was
I mean,
the
how
house? This was just ours.
I mean, those houses over there, they part of the original lot?
All of this. All of these houses around here were part of the original property.
Where'd y'all live before y'all moved out here?
We lived on Fifth Avenue downtown. The house is in torn down.
But now, didn't you have a farm, a little garden out here?
Yeah, we had big gardens.
I remember that in the summertime. We'd come out here and pick vegetables.
My dad raised hogs at one time. I've forgotten how long it took. It was quite a while, probably about a year.
Which one's your bedroom?
See where that comes. See where that comes.
Air conditioner.
This is the entrance to the house, and this was called not a carport, but a porte-cochere. Carport was too plebeian for it. And we used to try to park cars there, but after many bumped fenders, we gave it up. It's just too narrow. And even back in 1924, and in the 30s, it was too narrow for a car, so we gave it up.
Now, this is the front of the house?
Back.
Okay.
This is the back of the house. Garage on the corner. That's right. So after that, the servants lived up on the third floor. There were two rooms up there. I don't remember any servants staying in that garage. It may not even have been completed upstairs.
Do you remember the little bowling alley up there
Recording
on
right
the third
now.
floor?
Bowling alley.
When Aunt Bee was here, there was a tiny little bowling alley way up there.
Well, what Bee did, you see, that used to be an immense attic space. It had flooring, but it wasn't, finished. And when Bee renovated this house in about 1940, she made that into a recreation room. That's
Well,
probably
that's
when
what
they
I
had the
remember.
bowling alley. Yeah, she did a lot to it. Let me see if Linda's here. They put stained glass in. We did not have that. But that little seat has always been up there, and I used to sit there and dream when I was a little girl, what I was going to be when I grew up, and all
And all you
that.
wanted to be was a wife and a mother,
That's
and you
right.
achieved your goal. You told us that last night.
And this stairway was a lot of fun to slide down.
Don't tell my boys that.
I don't think we ever walked down it. Francis and I would slide down. There were a lot of broken posts.
Was that window like that?
No, there was just a regular window in there when we lived here. And I think there was carpet all out here, as well as I remember. I know there used to be a big grandfather clock on that mantel that chimed every 15 minutes. You could hear it all night. And of course, I don't remember what the walls were like then. They've done a lot with this house. It's gorgeous.
Now, whose bedroom was directly above this? Was that the master bedroom, the one right
Yes,
up
it
here?
goes out over that
Right.
top of it.
Remember when William was in the wreck? I think it was with Bee's boy,
Raymond.
and broke his leg.
Uh-huh.
And he was in that bed, I remember we visited. Yeah.
That was my mother and dad's room.
I
when we
would think
first
it
moved out
was,
here. That was the
yeah.
master bedroom.
Right.
This is the only room I remember.
This was the large sitting room. We used to have a baby grand piano right over there. And that bookcase that's in my living room now was right down here. And there was the table, I believe the table that's in the hall now at my house was down at the other end with the mirror. That's I used to. And B would have her dates in here. We had a big old sofa right over there. Francis and I, we were devils. We slipped down the stairway and throw an old shoe in here. Just laughing. We thought that was funny.
Now, how much older was Aunt Dee?
6 years older than I.
About 4 years older than me.
And this sun parlor that we called it was a good dancing place. We had an old Edison, which had to wind up and play music. And we come in here and dance. In fact, we had dance.
This is the same tile that was there.
I think it is,
At my
yeah.
mom's.
Same time.
You know, for some reason, this is the only room I ever remember.
I remember you never coming.
I remember this room. Now, why I remember it, I don't know, but I remember.
We had wicker furniture in here, but not near this much. And the old Edison sat right over there in the corner. See, they still had the steam radiators that were here when we lived here. But our mother would let us have a kind of a drop-in every Friday night. And our crowd would come out and we'd dance in this room. Had a real good time here. Look at those plants. Beautiful.
She's gonna need to cut a hole in the ceiling.
Yes,
Remember that beautiful wicker down at the beach house at the cottage?
yes.
That rocking lounge chair?
Right, I remember
Yes,
that part. I guess these are the original floors.
I bet they are.
I don't know. I think we had area rugs from here.
Maybe I'm not
Now
hitting
it's
it hard
recording.
enough.
Just hit it one time and let go. And don't hit it again till you want to stop.
Good family
How
reunion.
y'all doing?
This is Dr. Red Coat.
It is so homey. It's so warm
Y'all
and
have done
homey.
a wonderful job
Don't
redecorating.
confuse
decorating
that
was
with homely,
gorgeous.
because Linda Swells that I called said she was homely the first time.
He did say that. He did say that. He said I was homely. Here, bought it and didn't want it, and so it came to the house.
No, it didn't come to the house.
Well, I think Brad bought it. I don't know all the details.
Got it?
They were gonna take it, and in the house they had it. We call it. You can go in.
I think it's historical, you know, that's got with the house.
Well, let's go back here to what we used to call the little back sitting room.
Well, that's what it is, yeah.
I lived here. We've got a breakfast room back here where we usually ate. So,
Is that the original mantle?
I don't know about that. We'd have to ask Linda. I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
That looks like it's marbleized with paint.
Is that what they did?
Somebody has painted that and has
It
marbleized.
feels like marble. Where's Linda?
I've seen that done, and I had some curtain tiebacks that were marbleized.
Well, it feel like marble almost, doesn't it?
Mom, is this the original chandelier that was in here?
I couldn't tell you that. I doubt it. I imagine when Bee did over the house in about 1940, I imagine she put in new light fixtures.
Look at these drapes.
The radiators are still there.
The radios, I wonder if they heat the radios in here.
I don't think so.
So many people were pulling those on just,
Right.
but
We got a coal furnace down in the cellar. We burn coal.
Well, I don't know the way those legs
This
are.
is the butler's pantry.
I remember this. I remember this for some reason. But now the cabinets are all wood.
Yeah, this has been redone too. This doesn't look like it did when I lived here.
I'm gonna have
What
to
did
do
they use
Ambrose.
this for?
Well, when you had an entertainment of some kind, you know, you could fix your drinks in here, fix the iced tea. There's just a lot of things you could do. You could set up your plates here.
Look at it in the snow.
Let me look at the kitchen.
pretty.
What if that was just a couple years ago?
Sometimes as many as 4 or 5.
We have invaded your house.
This has been changed a lot. A lot. In fact, it used to be larger than it is. And the back porch is still there. I thought maybe they had it all the way down. No, this was a little back porch, and there was a door that went into the utility room, and that was the pantry over there. So
Is
it
this
was
here at
larger.
Libby, all this?
No, this, I think they put this in.
There used to be a table here.
Yeah, that's right, a table with the
Generic,
seats.
wasn't
Yeah, I
there?
remember.
They would be sitting.
It was in the original plans, but.
Yeah, they had a table in here, and it was larger because they made part of this, what used to be the pantry, the utility room.
How was that for you?
The kitchen, went back as far as that.
I know,
That
that's
right
right.
in place at one
That
time.
dog sitting up on the picnic.
There's some kind of elevator seat.
Just-
There
That's
used to
what
be,
we said.
yeah, when the Medlins lived here and Dr. Medlin's father could
Is
not
that
go
what-
up and down
oh,
stairs.
I
They
thought
put
y'all
in
had
a-
it.
No, we didn't do that, they did. They put that in on the elevators. Well, anything y'all wanna ask me? Can you think of anything? We used to have an old iron stove over in this part of the kitchen that you made a fire in, cook stove. Had a cook that was really good. Faustina.
She cooked all the meals
Faustina.
for you.
Yeah, when I was a teenager, she
Now,
worked
did she
for us.
work
Yeah,
for
she-
y'all some too? She was at your mother's funeral.
Yeah. She just died recently.
I went to her funeral, it was, I tell
Where
you,
is she
it was
buried?
big time.
Intercom or something?
No, they put that in when she remodeled, we didn't have that. We just had to run up and downstairs and
Holler at each other.
See what they've done with this? This is the original floor. Linda went back to it and had going down, I don't know how many layers of linoleum. And this is heart of pine.
Isn't this a nice room?
Oh.
Now, these windows have been changed. We used to have French doors all along here. And they had weather stripping in them. They'd make the gosh awful noise when the wind blew. And Bee used to try to scare me, you know, and we'd be upstairs and we'd hear that weird sound. She'd pick me up and say, I'm gonna carry you down there where that ghost is. She loved to tease me. This was but I don't know if we ever licked that problem or not. There was something about the weather stripping that made an awful
Oh, I
moaning
thought you were talking about Aunt
noise.
B teasing you.
Did I say I don't know if we ever licked that or not? Yeah, I don't think we did, not while I was little anyway. Somehow this room doesn't look as large as I thought it was. This is where we ate most of our meals, and we had no, I think it was Bee that had the long black table. I've forgotten what. While in 40, she was here in 44 when I got married because we had my reception in this house. My wedding reception. I think about 46. She was here about 6 years before they moved to the beach. It was during the war. We didn't send out invitations. We just called up people and asked them to come. I know we forgot a lot of people we should have asked. It was a fairly small wedding.
We want to take
When
those,
you're calling down, do you still have trouble with it flooding some?
well, there's always water down there, and it doesn't flood like, you know, my mother has a basement in Myrtle Beach, and hers always has 2 feet of water in it. Y'all, the stairs,
Look at Kitty, watch out for Kitty, Kitty Mom.
Well, I certainly remember the upstairs.
Y'all walk in.
Great, Charles. Look at that.
this.
Oh, golly.
Don't have to refrigerate it.
My goodness.
Isn't that something?
anyway, there's no sense in, buying wine you can't afford to drink. You know, unless you're gonna save it and put it back on the market and do big.
Dining room. Is that the original mantel that you modelized?
Yeah. Yeah, that was the same mantle that was always there, but had got marginalized.
That is beautiful.
He did an interesting, one interesting guy. Came in with long hair and ponytail, and this was full of artist talent. It took him 3 days or 4 days. Did it with little artist brushes and a sponge.
We had two bedrooms up there when we were kids. We used to love to go there, spend the night up on the third floor with our friends. And the attic was just great, because it was spooky place, not, really finished. My sister had that really big preparation room, she did not.
So my door this way was just attic there.
Yeah. Just big
But the 2 bedrooms and the bath were there originally.
Right. Yeah, they were built there. And eventually the servants stayed up there.
We're gonna
Did
change
they
it.
burn up in the summertime?
Oh, yeah, but it's still maintained.
I thought I heard stories about y'all having those stairs.
Liv, y'all are welcome to go upstairs if you'd like to, really, please do.
No, I don't know where we could have hidden them this.
That's
Just all kind
That's
of,
a little half.
you know,
But
there's all
that's a
kind of
little
problems.
closet
We
at
did
the
that
top.
since, I mean,
It's
all
at
redid
the
that.
top of the stairs.
When we first moved, it was just vinyl floor and put tile and all that. Put a new lavatory commode.
Brad's been here, how many years, Brad? 18?
You need to look over and see your yard so well kept and the house looking so good. Yes.
Can you tell anything different? I mean, does it look basically like it is?
Well, now the kitchen was larger than, I believe until the Morgan lived here. She somehow had 2 people in apartments, and she divided up the kitchen. She had 2 kitchens in there. And I believe she's the one that made it smaller originally.
Show me,
Go find her.
because I don't see how you could make it. Change wall is original plaster.
This is right here?
Mm-hmm.
That's strange, because I remember.
Because I think what you're thinking is, see, when we bought it, there were no cabinets. Little cabinet underneath that. And it seems to me like there was a little wall unit here on this wall. And Buzzy, had a table right here. Because none of this was here, none of these other cabinets or radiators was right there. So, well, I think what they did do was there was a wall right here.
That's what I was thinking.
Because there's an outside door here, we
Yeah,
closed
that's
off.
right, you go out on the porch and then come in here.
We closed that door, but this wall was already gone.
Yeah.
So
I
that must,
think that's where,
that
did you
must,
say this is the original
yeah,
wall?
that's, see that? That's old,
Yeah,
old
yeah.
plaster there.
Well, this must have been the pantry here.
I think why you thought the kitchen was big because there's no cabinets. Because I remember,
that's probably-
you know, it had a big table in it, and it
Uh-huh.
looked bigger
Yeah.
than once we finished redoing it.
Are all these ceilings like 12 feet?
No, we're lucky, they're 10.
10.
Yeah.
They're 10? Gosh, they look taller than
Well.
that.
They really do. When I lived here, we had a big old black iron stove over here.
All right, see, the
Table.
flue came out right there.
Mm-hmm.
And we sealed it off. I mean, it was leaking and trying to seal it off because we didn't use it anyway. So I figured the stove must have either been on this wall or that
It
wall.
was on this wall, right?
And it almost had to be that because the radiator's right here, which I'm sure, I doubt it would have been moved.
All right, this porch was right in here where that rounded,
Yeah, porch was all.
it was to right there. And then y'all added
See
on.
that bookcase looking thing? That used to be a door. And I have a hunch
Yeah.
that what she's talking about, there was a wall that separated this
Uh-huh.
pantry from kind of like a utility room.
That's
And you got into the utility room from the porch.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was,
Cabinet right there, that built-in ironing board. So I guess this was laundry. You could fold it down.
this was actually the butler's pantry.
Yeah,
That's what
I
we
don't think
always
there was
called
any,
it.
best I can remember, there was no cabinet. Other than that section right over there.
Big plump and natural, so right here.
This is the only 2 rooms that we actually tore back to studs and started over with the kitchen in this room. And then put cabinets in that storage room. from
Get them eyes on video.
which you don't have here. So that's why I think those originally were not here, they were not.
What type of things do you like to cook? Do you like to bake or do you like?
And Charlie gave me, that was the best thing I ever tasted.
Thank you.
She didn't save me a bite though.
Crab biscuits, like that.
She had black beans in it, celery, and onions, and tomatoes.
I love to make soups, but I don't particularly care about eating them.
Help yourself. Just don't let anything crack.
Your grandmother.
My grandmother lived with us. She died. And she would start down the steps. She didn't want anybody to help her. She'd hold on, but it would take her probably 10 minutes to get down these steps.
And now whose mother was that?
My mother's mother.
Okay.
Now, did she come here from Canada?
No, she came from Washington. They were living in Washington, and
at
her
that
husband died.
Okay.
And soon after
Little
that-
Washington, North Carolina.
No, big Washington. She did, but they moved to the States when she was 19 years old.
Oh, I see. So
And
she
her
grew up
mother and
in
daddy lived in Washington. He had some sort of government job. After he died, she eventually came to live with us when I was a teenager. And we would drive her around some, and she'd say, "Who's gonna drive the machine today?" And Francis and I would just crack up and try not to let us see us.
Machine.
On occasion, we have had a snake right here in this hall.
On purpose or?
No, somewhere.
Well, I mean, you know, some people. Like Lauren.
No, and I can tell you another story about the snake too, in this room right here. This was the room that Francis and I had when we moved out here, and had two little blue beds, and a blue dresser, and everything was blue for us. Hi, how are you?
Bought much? No, I don't live here.
Oh, you don't. There used to
This
be,
was your bedroom?
lights that look like, what do you call them?
This was Lizzie's and Francis.
Anyway, they were light
I
fixtures
remember
that
those
looked like candles.
Sconces.
Sconces. That were, yeah. And we used to hang our clothes on them when we hung them up at all. Now, right over here under this radiator, one day when I was in college, I saw a belt, and I leaned over to pick it up, and it moved, and it was a snake. And I went and called my daddy and my brother, and they came in and looked in here and looked in the closet and all, and never could find it. So they thought I was just seeing things. And the next day, this black woman that cleaned for us came, and I told her about it. She said, "Well, I'll put turpentine in every closet in the house, and they'll get rid of it." And sure enough, Sunday morning, I wasn't here, but that snake was crawling down the steps, and my daddy killed it.
Was
Now,
it
which
black
one?
snake?
I don't know what kind it was.
Which one of the brothers was helping find the snake? Howard or Raymond?
I believe it was Raymond. I think so. 'Cause he
Okay,
lived here with us more than Howard did. You know, when your daddy stopped working for the government and came home, he lived here for a while.
Did y'all have
Before he
twin
got
beds in
married.
here?
Did we have what?
Twin beds?
Twin beds, little blue beds right over here. And there was a big blue dresser over there, and probably desk and chairs, and it was all blue for little girls.
Why blue for little girls?
Well, I don't know, it was just supposed to look like a child's room, was a little bit. Which
Well,
it
you all were
was.
young when you moved
I was
here.
7 and she was 9.
I hadn't even thought about ages when y'all were moving.
So, and this was always a sewing room, a storage room.
My mother did not
So, but that's what it is now. See how much stuff they can put in there? This is beautiful. This was my dad and mama's room. They had twin beds in here down at that end when we first lived here.
And they were this way, weren't they? Up and down this way?
Yeah, One day on a table in between.
Trying to get back to this kind of
So this is the master bedroom.
Are you saying grandmother didn't want to let your mother far away from her?
What's that mean?
Grandmama didn't want to let y'all far away from her. She knew she better keep an eye on you and mother.
Yeah, that's why she just had a bathroom between
Whose room is
them. We changed around a lot, though.
Is this the master?
I remember one time I slept in another bedroom.
It is, it's just very livable. Like she said, it's not at all elegant, which is very nice, because sometimes you can just really
Seems
feel.
more elegant than
I was going to
it
say,
did.
Sherry.
But I mean, it's a lived in.
It's a
I mean,
lived-in.
elegant.
It's a Ralph Lauren though. It's a Ralph Lauren casual.
But I still think it's,
And it's put over their wall, everything is
it's
just
very comfortable and
I love
homey.
the choice of wallpaper.
Mm-hmm.
So fresh and
Mm-hmm.
pretty.
Sitting there like sitting bull. Waiting for
I
my.
can picture this is the wallpaper.
Be sure we be good girls.
Who was
Very
this?
protective, Raymond. Her,
And you
her
always
daddy.
called baby, weren't you?
Yeah.
Up until what?
Uh-huh.
Columbia College?
No, I
times?
was called that
Through
then.
that?
My sister, Lillian's mother, called me that. When I was pregnant with Sherry, she said, I figured after I went around telling people that baby's baby had come, that I better stop calling you that. And she started calling me Libby from then on.
Who did?
Frances, Lillian's mother. This was Bee's room when we first moved out here. And later on, Mama moved in there. One time, Frances and I lived in there. We changed around a lot on our rooms. This was my dad's room. In fact, this is the room in which he died.
Really?
Yeah, when I was 20 years old. This is his room. Yeah,
He died at home?
had a coronary. And my grandmother died in this room.
They ought to be one ghost.
Yeah, a couple of ghosts at least. I'm sure this is original for too.
Now, these rooms I remember from when the Medlins were here and I spent some nights with Janet.
Yeah.
These two rooms. I think they must have stayed in here.
This was the linen closet, as I remember. It still is. This is the bathroom. Between the two bedrooms. Rather large bathroom.
I believe this must be the original tub, don't you?
They don't make them that deep in our anymore, do you? Do you remember how deep the tubs were in the villa?
Yes.
Oh,
They are long and
Oh,
they're
yes,
deep.
but you got
And
them
at the cottage,
up.
don't you remember?
Yeah, they were that way too.
Like a swimming pool.
See, I can't call that a cottage. That was
But that's
a
what
home.
grandmother called it.
That's right, the summer cottage.
What you call
This was the
cottage?
guest room when we lived here. Because I remember it had 2 beds in it, but it was always the coldest room in the house. It never was very comfortable. So I don't think anybody ever lived in this room permanently. It was
Does it
just,
face the north?
just for the guests. Yeah, I might
northern
say it
area?
does, it's northern exposure. But for some reason, the heat just did not get in this room.
You can tell.
What does that door go to, Mom?
What?
What does that door go
I
to?
think that's the closet.
Okay.
Whose room everybody, you know, all these rooms belong to. Sometimes it's hard.
Yeah.
This looks like a
Very
guest room.
small closet.
And see, we used to play hide in all these
Now,
little
this room
closets.
has changed. This is what we used to call the sleeping porch, and it used to have different kind of windows here, casement windows. I don't know, there were a lot of them that
You can see somebody really.
Opened up.
yeah, opened up out that way.
Uh-huh.
And it was cooler in the summer than any other place. That wasn't saying much, but it was.
How old were you when your dad died?
When he,
And you were here at the time?
yeah, I was right here in this house. Frances was over at the beach. That was Lillian. That was right after she had met your daddy, And they went on a house party down at the beach. Miss Dixon was with her. And Howard had to go over and tell her. Or Raymond, that's right, it was Raymond. No, he called Howard. Howard was living at the beach. He called Howard, and Howard went up there and told her.
Well, when I go back to talk to Mother again, I'm gonna have to fuss with her because she used to fuss with me because she had such a hard time finding me when they would come down here. When they got a call that grandmother was down there.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna tell her that I know now.
The boys had a telephone in there, so where they could go in there and be private.
What was the third floor? Did anybody ever stay up there, Mom?
Yeah, Frances and I used to go up there and spend the night with our friends so she could smoke.
Oh, that's where Sheridan gets it from. I knew I could pinpoint it or something.
Anybody here? I don't know. Her son stays up in there when he comes home.
And these rooms were tiny, weren't they?
Yeah, they're still tiny, so
Uh-huh.
they were always here.
This was a bowling alley there, friends.
Well, somewhere back in here, under the roof
I always
line.
like to look out the
Not
windows.
this way, but
See,
somewhere.
you're really up there when you're up here.
Is that Brenda?
I hate to admit all the furniture in the house.
Either Brad or Press.
That was Press, because I asked her about it.
They had to pay for one.
Yeah.
So too.
It's so messy.
Now see, all of this
No,
was
it's not.
It's gotta be something.
all of this was just dark attic.
Well, listen, my
Scary
daughter called
attic.
me over to Aunt Libby's a little while ago, wanting to know what time we were gonna be home. I said, what have you got to do, get everybody
Now,
home?
this is where the bowling alley was. It was in here.
Yeah, they made this into a recreation area. She had a bar up here. To serve drinks.
You could have a bowling alley in there.
Darling. Oh, it's huge.
It is tremendous. It was just the attic space. I don't remember all this stuff being here.